be muted. Hello! Welcome. Welcome back to a new year. Yeah. What more can I say than that? Let's go ahead and get started on Foundation. Or restarted, I suppose. Now, that said, turns out that I guess my Stream Deck needs some sort of update, or I need to relog into something so it's not able to manage my transitions. But I'll just do it manually. It'll look a little clunky this time, but that's alright. I guess it needed a break too, and then that's where we are. So, as soon as it shows up here on stream, we'll go ahead and get started. There we go. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, great. So, last we left off, we got plenty of high-density houses, which is what we need as one of these end-game requirements. We also need to eventually work towards building a city Belfry, which requires... We have the level of labor splendor we need to get there, but we then need 50 labor influence, which currently we've only got the 20. Once we've unlocked that, we can actually put it out. What else? We need to host the Seneschal at the tavern, which I imagine happens after we get a city Belfry, because according to that progression... I guess it doesn't specifically say that that's tied to it, but I imagine it probably is. Either that, or there's something else that we could do at the tavern to make that happen. Let's see. If I were to edit my tavern, I assume if they're staying, they'd stay at the Inn Lodge. But I don't see anything specifically tied to having the Seneschal come. So, according to the book here... Yeah, that's one of the requirements. And the last thing is Splabor. Wow, Splabor. Splendor for labor is at 500 or more, which, like we saw earlier, we were above 300, but we still got quite a bit to go. And a lot of that just comes from making pretty buildings. Yes, Splabor. It's just a fun combo word to make it faster. Okay. Well... Gotta make some prettier stuff going on. Well, how are we doing as far as happiness? We're doing decently well, I think, mainly because of the events from last time. Well, that's basically fading out, so overall people are generally pretty happy. What's your problem? You need refined food. That's the thing we're constantly running into. That people need meat, bread, and cheese. And we're running low on cheese. So, on top of making things pretty, we need to be maybe expanding our cheese output. We got some dairy farms. This one has 21 milk in it at the moment, and the other cheese maker has 0 milk at the moment. So, that either means we need more cows, or we need cows closer to this one. Probably both. So maybe we do another dairy farm over here in this area of trees. So I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, we own that territory. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do that, but before I do, let me make sure where we left off as far as buildings last time. We have no people assigned to the butchery, but other than that, we've got the buildings built. Okay, great. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and make a dairy farm right here. Nope, not painting, building. Dairy. Oh, didn't mean to right click. Okay. Now we have no housing around here, so I don't need to worry too much about this undesirable housing space. I think the closer that is to the center of town, meaning the building, then the pasture can expand outward, the better. So we'll build that. And we can't paint the pasture area until it's built. So while that's being done, we're going to keep an eye out for new immigrants. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, this is the butchery. Got it. For a second, I thought it was somebody in my manor house decided to leave town, and I was going to be very disappointed. But no, we're good. That said, seems like a lot of these people are not getting the patrolling they need to be considered medium density. So what would that take? We got people here working at this watch post, but not many. Do I have another watch post nearby that's actually double covering that area? Somewhat, but not super well, because they've got a lot of other things to do. So I think maybe then, while we're here looking at it, we could expand this watch post a little to have more workers available to cover that space. So let's go ahead and edit this building. Let's go with... Let's go with a small building, but make it a little bit taller so that it holds more space, more people. So currently it would add +2 to the total capacity. Let's make it a little taller so it'll add +3. And hopefully that'll be enough. If not, I can like add a tower to it or something. We just need a door on there. But as is, people can't make it to the door. So can I turn the whole thing? Hold on, snap that on. Maybe pull that this way. There we go. It's just dipping a little bit into the water. Be fine. And hopefully there's still that path that stays between the two. So, while both of those buildings are being built, we're going to see... Great, we got a couple more people coming. We have high immigration because everyone's pretty happy about stuff. Okay, I think, as far as workers currently, I can't imagine that this is already done. Yeah. We're just going to assign both of them to be butchers. Because the sooner that's done, the better my meat output will look. And also, as long as everybody's assigned out to jobs, my immigration rate will stay high. So, from here, how are we looking? I guess I didn't consider if the wall I was working on, how that's looking. And it looks like it's done. So if I wanted to continue circling the entire area, I could. I think... While that was my original idea, my lands are pretty big now, and I don't think they all need to be considered heavily fortified. So I think maybe I will just close that wall here around this area of housing, and then maybe bring it back around to connect to that wall. Because then anything within that is considered heavily fortified and can be upgraded to high quality housing if required. As long as it already meets the qualifications for medium quality. Wait, no, fortification has to do with density. As long as they've hit the medium density requirements, then they can be upgraded to high density once that wall is completed. At least that's as far as I understand it. I don't have a complete wall yet to make sure. So, let's see. Got that going. Tools are coming. Okay. Now this one stores cheese, but it does not sell it because I have not yet built a stall to sell cheese here. Or bread. We've got both of our rustic foods, which berries are not there at the moment. Because we've got people gathering from this hut right here. Maybe they do use up berry bushes. Because I feel like there used to be bushes that were closer to this one. That's fine, but that might mean that I'll need to build more and expand out further. Because, yeah, this gatherer... Oh, yeah, that absolutely happens. They have to go all the way out there. Unless, maybe the reason that I'm confused is because berries only exist where there's trees. Maybe if there's not shade from the trees, the berry bushes die. That would make sense, because it seems like all of these are near tree lines. And I imagine that probably said that the very first day that I played, and I just forgot. So, in cutting out all of the trees to make this a little bit more accessible, I also made it so berry collection is maybe a little bit more difficult. So, I do have a gathering hut right here. And I've got... Maybe I don't have one over here. Might be a good place for it. I think maybe with some of these that are so far removed from everything, I will scoot them. I think that's probably worth it to save time on just this speed at which all the work gets done. So we're going to take that building. We're going to scoot it out here to be surrounded by a handful of different options. Sure. Takes 1 coin and just a few pieces of wood. So I think I want to do that over here as well. And, oh, but I have woodcutters working out there, so those are going to be gone soon. I think then we're going to move you over here. Because these are trees that I do not think I have set to be cut. Let's double check. We're going to go to paint, wood cutting. Ah, this area is set to be cut down. So, knowing what I know about berries now, we are going to remove this space. Because I did also move this wood, or this gathering hut out here. And we want to maintain some more berry spots in that area. Well, that is good to know. I think we'll cut trees down over in that direction instead. I think out to that level is fine, but we'll leave these trees for the sake of having some berries. And expand out in this direction. Okay. So, with that, we've got some houses already out here. We've got patrols going on, but not much because this only has space for the one. Which is fine, these don't need to yet be medium density, but hopefully they will be soon-ish. Oh, but it looks like this one is going to have more. That's right, I remember. It's just currently in the process of being built, so that we'll have more space to assign more watchmen, more patrollers, both. Great, and that one's already been moved and fully built. Same with that one. How are we doing on the dairy farm? We've got most of our materials. And looks like we're missing some tools. Uh-oh. I guess we've been building so much that we can't keep up with tool production. It also could just be that we're not getting enough coal. Because coal is used both to make iron in the first place, but also to make gold, but also to make glass, and also to make jewelry, I think. Actually, maybe not. I think jewelry is just gold and gems. but coal's also used to make tools. So we are just running low on coal. So as far as coal production goes, we've got a handful of charcoal huts. They cut down trees and turn them into charcoal. So just 3 of those buildings right here. And then, oh boy, our bailiff found an iron deposit. Good thing we need iron. Yeah, with our excess of iron, that could be... I think I've looked it up already, but can I just sell iron ore? Because that might be worth, even though it's not the best, I guess, deal for what I could refine it into. It might just be worth it because I have an excess, and that would bring me in more income to play around with for other things. I can buy iron ore. Can I sell it anywhere? Nope, sure can't. Okay. Well, no wonder we're doing that. The only reason why I'd want to set up another thing for iron ore is because gems are just randomly found with all of the deposits. And so having people work there, I might just have a more likely chance of finding gems, which make jewelry, which is important for the luxury of my town. However, that is way out there. Closest territories I have are these 2. So I'd have to buy at least 2 or 3 to get out there. And while I could do that, and I'd probably be able to afford it decently enough, that would really stretch my resources to have to go a lot further. And yeah, okay. I had a possible deal going on where I had to provide a certain amount of cloth or wool, and I'd get beer in exchange, but I did not get enough to uphold that deal. Luckily, there's no negative to it other than I don't get the beer that I wanted, so that's all right. Okay, so I got 2 more people. Want to assign them to this dairy farm if it's done. It is not, but it's close-ish. Yeah, I think we can wait on that because we've got somebody bringing the one final tool that we need. I think we also have coal out here. Yeah, I think we're just going to need to up our charcoal use. And another one right here, yeah. Now where are they going is my question. They must be going somewhere else. Okay. Well, I don't have a gathering hut out here, and I'm going to need to cut down those trees for the pasture anyway. So, we're going to expand wood cutting to all these trees. Okay. And we won't have to worry about them over here anymore because they won't cut anything here since there's no trees left. I think that'll also help with charcoal, just because I guess they weren't really doing a lot of work beforehand, or they'd have to walk really far to get to a woodcutting space. Okay. We got people coming, but I want to assign these as soon as it's done. Now that said, I'll need a pasture which can't be made in trees anyway, so I gotta wait for those trees to be cut down. Okay, 2 dairy farmers. Yep, we're missing the pasture. We'll get to it in a bit. Okay, we got our 2 immigrants. And supposedly we have a messenger coming, according to one of the things. Oh, we're missing a master builder. That's right, I forgot. Last time we were working on a couple of expansion things as far as builders' workshops. Oh, good, I did have an extra worker somewhere. Now, I think the way that master builders work is specifically they make statues? Is that right? Let's find out. No, that's a sculpture workshop. I don't know if that's what this sub-building is. It looks like sculptures to me. I imagine they use marble to make statues. Now, is that just like an extra resource? It looks like it. I don't know. It says no projects at the moment. Does that just mean he hasn't started because I just assigned him? Does that mean that he won't make them unless I create a certain type of project for him to work on? Who knows? And then the other thing here was, I think, a stained glass workshop, where they'll take my regular glass from a glass smelter and turn it into stained glass, which can then be used in fancy buildings and maybe also sold at a really good rate. Okay, here's the messenger. Iron ore, yes, that's exactly what I want to sell. Now this is for labor influence, which is what we need in order to progress for our, whatever the big city Belfry, I think is what it was. I could just take the deal. I could try to haggle for it, which would give me more money. I don't think that I need the extra money at the moment, so we'll just go ahead and take the deal as is, because I don't want the chance to get a worse deal. Also, it's tied to my labor influence, which I have to spend some of it in order to haggle for the better deal, and where I need as much of that as I can get, I'm just going to stick with it as is. And I will immediately make that trade. They need at least 250 in storage facilities. I have a total of 880 and 300 of it in storage, because I think that's all the space I set aside for it. Meaning that most of my iron ore facilities aren't even working right now because they're holding all of the excess, since I only have so much in my, like, chosen to be stored at my storage facilities. Okay. Decent amount of iron smelted with the iron ingots. Alright, well. Yeah, how are these doing? We got stone here, iron out here. And I guess those were the only two resources at this particular spot. And we've got stone, gold, and quartz. And none of them are sitting with any sort of excess that would be a problem, which is a good thing. That means that they're all getting sent either to projects or to various facilities to be stored or refined. Now, I did just barely start assigning some miners out here. We've got marble. We've got... This one's not quite done, but it's iron and they've already maxed out the existing storage. It needs 10 tools, which again, we are running into a bit of a backup as far as tools go. And then it can be fully built and we'll be able to have even more storage space available. And then over here, it's mostly done and we have people bringing one of the 3 remaining tools, and I can assign miners here. So we'll go ahead and assign one there. Okay. Alright, you guys, I know there's only 3 of you, but I need you to cut down these trees maybe slightly faster. I could build another sort of charcoal hut out here, but with the end goal of this space becoming pasture, we're not going to replant trees in this space, so I don't think that's the most efficient use of it. So, I guess we could try to build a bridge up to this little butte here, this little hill. Or, no, yeah, or we could make them take a path up in this direction. Now, I think that is outside of my territory, yeah. And I don't even own that one or that one. Oh no, I own both. Okay, that's why they're, if I selected it, would be red, saying I'd get rid of it. Well, I might as well do something with that space. I just don't know if they will be able to make it up there without a bridge. So, let's go ahead and make a bridge. Luckily, that will not require any workers to maintain it, just to build it in the first place. City stone bridge. Crosses gaps. All of them do. Sure, let's do a city one. That'll look good and fun, and we can make it look pretty. Okay. So, in order to get it up there, what if we connect it to, like, that pathway there? Oh boy, okay. So no, not there necessarily, because that will cut through some existing houses. I'd rather not do. Okay. Can we create it across, maybe? Yes, we can. But it sure looks terrible on the other side. Okay, well, that then covers the doors of some buildings. That should be fine as is, I think. Don't love how it looks, but I don't know that we can really beg. Beggars can't be choosers on that, maybe. Unless, can we start up here? Okay, that's something. Takes up quite a bit of pasture space of the existing cow field. That's, I think, better? Sure. We'll try it, and, you know, maybe we'll hate it. We'll find out. The nice thing about this game, though, is it does allow you to kind of overlap buildings in a way that other games would be, I think, more particular. At least when it comes to anything outside of housing. People prefer that they have their houses relatively untouched. You can play around with it a little when it comes to, like, making them prettier. But, oh boy, we hit a population of 500. Let's go. Okay. Let's find another dairy farmer here. And again, we'll have to wait until this is done up a little bit. I guess I could start painting a pasture, and they will have cows wherever they'll fit. Too large. Alright. Great. Adequately sized. I actually don't know. It doesn't seem like it has the same weird hang-ups as wheat farming, where when you paint that space out, anywhere where it's near trees, it's highlighted in red. This doesn't do that, so maybe cows can just graze in between trees and I don't have to worry about getting that done immediately. That'll be really nice if so, but otherwise I don't see a reason to keep trees out there, so we will leave them cutting from there for now. Okay, oh boy, because we hit over 500, we get a little happiness bonus. Great. You know, I am making quite a few mistakes on just the general workflow of this playthrough, but it has been extremely enlightening for future playthroughs on how I am going to make sure I keep, for example, enough forest for berries and hunting nearby, as well as, you know, what I've talked about before as far as keeping the city relatively centralized. So hopefully I don't have quite so many really far-flung areas. Or if I do, they can also kind of be their own self-contained hamlet, rather than being tied to getting resources out in the main areas. Okay, so we're going to assign... Got miners, both of those. We'll get some more gold miners. So this is done. Oh, great, it is done already. So we'll assign some more patrollers out here so that these houses can be upgraded to medium density, which will allow for... Currently there's only 6 people that can live in these 3 houses. We'll expand it, so I think medium density is 6 in each. So from 6 we'll go to 16. And that will be just incredible. Because I think that will cover all 4 of these people. And all... Maybe not quite. No, that would be 16. Because 4 in each of these mining areas. And 4 people doing patrolling and watching. So 4 times 4 is 16. And we have space for 18. So that'll be a good start. Okay. Now, as far as things I set to be built, this was one of them. We also need more patrollers in this space, specifically to handle those areas that are lacking a little bit. So as soon as I get more immigrants, I will assign them to that spot. Okay. With so many berries in storage, the elders want us to host a fair. We can order the foragers to work double. We got a 70% chance of that. I think that might be a good deal since we want to increase our berry storage. 70% chance that they will double, well, not quite double their output. It'll be up by 50%. But there's a 30% chance that they'll get stressed and drop it by 50. Luckily, the amount of berries I have on hand doesn't affect this event. It's just I need happiness to be at 75 or above, which so far we've been doing okay. So we're going to order them to work double. And, oh, well, we screwed it up. They could not live up to their responsibility and accidentally messed up their workplace. That's okay. I will have to deal with that. Looks like it lasts 3 weeks or so. So, that's alright. Curious to know if I click on a building that is a gathering... Okay, that's not noted there. Alright, 4 more people. We're going to assign some to patrol here. In fact, we'll just, yeah, fill those 3 spots, so hopefully this stays a lot more well maintained that way. Okay, now, with my remaining, I think 1 person, I think this might be the stained glass one. I think those are the regular builders. That's the... Okay, yeah, here's stained glass. Okay, we'll assign the other guy there. Now, it says no projects at the moment, so I'm curious to know... Yeah, okay, no statue there, no sculpture. So I guess just like a builder's workshop, they don't build stuff until they get a project to build it on. So, out of curiosity, I'm going to come into the help menu. I'm actually going to slow down the game so that it doesn't, nothing passes me by while I'm doing this. So if we look up sculpture, if I can spell. Okay. They might require these as part of their construction resources. Projects must first be produced at dedicated workplaces using their listed resources. Okay. Okay. Produced at dedicated workplaces using their listed resources. What does that mean? So the glass smelter, there's no way for me to assign that stained glass needs to be made, so it must be a different type of building. Now, these guys are working very low as far as productivity goes because they're serfs and this job is best suited to citizens. I don't think I'll up you to citizen, but I'll at least bring you to commoner status. That way, instead of working at 25% productivity, they're at 50. And from there, let's see. Okay, more people coming. That's always good. Coal is still running real low, so we use it in all sorts of things. As soon as this bridge is done, I think I'm going to set a bunch of this space to basically just be a bunch of charcoal huts and a forester to continuously cut this and use it for coal. I will say this project, 450 stone, that's kind of crazy. Luckily we have plenty, so it's not like it's an issue, but it's a lot. I guess that makes sense when we're making a big stone bridge. Okay. How's this looking? I assigned some new people there. I don't know if they've actually started patrolling, but at least one of these is close to hitting its medium density patrolling space. So if we speed that up a little bit, maybe we'll be able to see how that goes with this newer group and if we need to assign out more to it. Okay, well, while we're waiting for it, I'm going to slow this down again so that I can claim these two guys before I assign them out. I do want to see if we can see an example of what the current size of patrol does for just the 3 houses that exist. Two of them are headed to work. All 3 of them are headed to work. I imagine they all wait for each other so that they can go out in a group, because that's how patrol works in this game. Rather than go in independently timed things, which might help with overall coverage, they all go in a group. Which makes it somewhat inefficient, but the larger you group, the more time they spend covering each area, because they have a larger radius. Well, I guess this person waited too long, and so they're the only patroller. But man, they didn't go far. They go awfully quick. And they'll just kind of repeat that until their shift is over. Maybe the 2 that I assigned there just haven't shown up yet. Yeah, because the first person who already worked here is patrolling. The other 2 who I assigned still are heading to work, so... Well, no wonder they're not patrolled well. This guy's doing a terrible job of it. Sorry, Fredegundia. I said what I said. But it's not your fault, it's the way that the game does patrols. But, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how patrols really worked back in medieval times, where people were not able to be watched every second of every day. And that makes me feel bad as being the person who's watching everybody individually and complaining about their work. My bad. Sorry, Fredegundia. You do your thing. Okay, we got some more people. Okay, good. We got now groups of 3 patrolling. And it looks like at least this one already hits the medium density requirement. And these 2 are going to be, I think, shortly. So I will not worry about assigning more to this space. Well, maybe 1 more because we've got 4 people currently unassigned. And then... where else do we need workers? Got all the dairy workers done. And this cheesemaker now has a decent amount of milk just on hand, which is good. Okay, hold on. We're going to start with this. Surplus planks for beer. I do have a decent amount of planks. They want 250 in storage. I've only got 165 right now, but it'll give me basically a full in-game month to give me beer. I could spend 10 of my influence to get a better deal with more beer, or I can just let it go and gain 5 if the deal works out. That would bring me up to 50, which is what I need to progress. If I spend 10, I would still get the 5 if we finish it, but then I'd get more beer, which I think is important as far as my current entertainment needs. So, great. They'll send me more beer, so instead of 75, it's 150. I just need to get the planks within the next 28 days. Now, luckily, I don't ever have an issue with the amount of planks, because I've got a good amount of sawmills going. It's just a question of whether I'm using the planks more than having excess in storage. But I think in the time listed we'll be fine. I won't try to build too many expensive things. As happiness goes, you can't find a house close to your workplace. Who are you and where are you? Okay, you are a marble worker way out here. Which there will be space in these two houses as soon as they hit the level of patrol coverage that we need. Why are you going alone again? This must be the 4th person who I assigned recently, and then the other 3 are sleeping. Or they're waiting for work. Okay. Regardless, hopefully then with those 4 patrolling, these 2 will be covered pretty well. It even says that this space is too small for that group, meaning that they should easily be able to fully cover it. As soon as those both are considered medium density, we'll have plenty of space. So I will leave it alone for now, because I think that your happiness will last until then. And why are you unhappy? Are you just new? You also don't have housing. Or refined food. But it doesn't... Oh, okay, there it is. I was about to say, it didn't give me a notification saying you didn't have a house. But now it says you do. So, put that one there, those 2 still. I don't know. We'll work on it. Don't want to miss these guys. Slow down the game a little bit just to handle maybe a little bit more of the minutia here. Okay. Got 45 labor influence. Once this deal is done, if hopefully it gets done, that will give us another 5, and we'll be there to research a city, Belfry. Oh boy, all of a sudden I got a lot of money. That's right, we're gonna make some stuff pretty. In fact, can I edit this one? Make a stone gateway. At the base of it to make it look nice. Oh, that's kind of fun. I think at the bottom we'll have a little roof. And we'll apply that. And then we'll go to the top. And it does add... Oh, it looks like it adds decor, but not labor splendor. So I don't necessarily need to worry about making it any prettier. Although it might still be fun to just have one at the top. Okay, and we'll hook it on right there, and let's switch it to that kind of top. It looks fun. Very frivolous and overspendy, but that's okay. So, as far as labor splendor, we need to take buildings that exist within the labor tier here and expand them by making them look nicer. So taverns, manor houses, city market. Got this gigantic tavern here. Ooh. We don't have a lot of berry brew on hand, I think because we're running low in general on berry brew. No, we got a decent amount. Alright. Maybe we edit this one. So, service counter specifically. I guess I don't have to expand it, but I might as well make it a little taller. That adds more storage. And this adds more taverner capacity. And then let's go ahead and see if we can make an inn sign. I can never figure out how to make this attach or where it's supposed to attach to, so I guess not that one. But these have the little labor splendor thing listed there. Throw a thatched window there. Terrace seating. Well, we have no terrace, but we got seating. Let's put them across the way right here. What else? Little tavern balcony. That's covering up the windows. I don't really like that. But this one doesn't have windows, so little tavern right, or balcony right there. A little refined bay window. I think that's actually kind of fun. I like that right there. Now, that added 4, that added 3, this added 5, and then the balcony added 4. So we're gonna get an extra 16. Sure. Cool. Alright. So that will increase our labor splendor, which is one of our end goals. How are we doing out here on housing? Come on, you guys. Bad. Okay. I guess we assign another patroller here to hopefully make up for the layering that they're doing in a way that's not helpful. Then, do we have another workplace where they're understaffed? I don't think so. Okay, we're down to 16 days. We still need 250 of these in storage. But I think in editing some of these buildings, I have spent quite a few planks. So we are, I think, going to hold off in hopes that we can complete that deal. Now, as far as wood cutting out here, we've got plenty of wood, and these guys have plenty of, they've turned into planks, there's just no space to take it anywhere. So, do I have storage for more planks? Not there. But I think let's transition that stone to planks, so that any excess will go there. What do you mean a housing requirement's no longer met? Oh, it was just patrol coverage, but they're good. The game keeps pausing itself, I think. I don't know if that's a me problem or if that's just a notification thing saying like, hey, make sure you don't miss this. But I'm not seeing a notification, so don't worry about it. We've got a merchant coming. my issue is I just don't have a lot of spaces to put planks once they're made. So sawmills like these ones just kind of get stuck waiting for more to be taken to storage. The good news is we do currently have 150-ish in storage, because in reassigning that space to be planks, the piles here just got moved out. And we also have some here that can't be done with. Oh, interesting. Hold on, let me take a look at what the preview looks like. Oh, fun. Okay, great. Well, in that case, yes, that is. Okay, hold on. If I send it another one here, if it's tall enough, the question is, will it go over my face, or does it just clear out after those 3? We'll find out. Okay, it will continue to go upward, it looks like, which is fine, but I think that means I would probably prefer the lower one, if at all possible. Yeah, and that was a thing that I think I was testing as far as a new, like, plugin type thing. Yeah, I think I will stick with it as it used to be. I just don't know that I can really change it at the moment while streaming. So I'll have to go into some menus and take a bit of time, which I don't want to waste anyone's time. So I'll just have to do that off stream. I appreciate that. Thank you. Where it currently stands, where I'm not getting as much chat participation, I had no reason to notice it. So thank you. Okay. We could sell some wool to the bishop. Yeah, everyone spam the chat. Let's go. That would give me clergy influence, which I already have a really good amount. It would give me money, which I don't need. I think I'm going to save the wool because I'm going to need it for clothes and for cloth. And in hopes that I get somebody from the kingdom offering me kingdom influence, because that's something that I have not yet gained any of. So maybe next time. And we got 223 planks in storage. We still got 10 days. And of course these 100, I guess they were full. 20 of them got taken out, I think, to build up some of these houses, maybe? Yeah, okay, perfect. So with the current patrol coverage, all 3 of these are now medium density, which should mean we don't have anybody unhappy as far as missing a house. And yeah, looks like nobody says they don't have a house right now, so good. It's exactly what we wanted. I do think once this deal is done, I'm going to want to expand this warehouse to make space for more planks to be stored. That way we can keep the workflow of the sawmills going and still have a good excess amount of planks for projects. And for special deals like this that might show up. So just gotta wait to hit that 250 and then I'll mash confirm here. I think I also wanted to move this one. And it just takes regular logs, so that should be fine. I think I'll want it near to the houses out this way, because they live in this area. Cool. Sitting at 221 for planks. Okay. $245. With each storage space requiring at least space for 100, that means that theoretically, even if I only have 3 spots that are holding planks, I should be able to hold up to 300. This one's holding 1 of them for planks. Oh, good, we did it. Done. Great. So we get our labor splendor, we get, not splendor, labor influence, and we get our beer. Now, as far as this warehouse, we're going to set it to edit, get some more depot space for storage. We're going to have 2 more per building, so go ahead and apply both of those. Oh, I guess it's just plain old logs, so I could have done that while waiting for planks. Well, now we know. Okay, let's see. So we still need plenty more labor splendor, but I can spend my 50 labor influence to unlock a city belfry. This unlocks it for the city market, so that can bolster the happiness of villagers living nearby. Okay, we unlock that. It's a sub-building on the city market. I don't know that I want the city belfry way out here on the outskirts, though, so I might need to build another city market closer to the middle. Okay, I have way too many people compared to the amount of buildings I have. Hopefully this bridge gets done soon so I can start assigning a bunch of charcoal burners out here. I'm curious to know if they can even access this space already. We're going to find out. Let's do multiple charcoal huts up here. We'll go 1, 2, and 3. And drop that one. Great, so these are already under construction. Perfect. So we will see if they start getting worked on or have builders assigned before the bridge is done. If that's the case, then technically we don't need the bridge to get up to that space, but it'll be nice. What's your job? Oh, you're clearing an area for construction, so you literally can make it up there. That's good to know. I could have done that a while ago. Oh well. I just assumed the way that pathing worked, that the amount of space left within the territory that I owned, that they wouldn't be able to, like, cross through that space. But I guess they can, so I guess good to know for future reference. If I wanted to buy a territory way out in the middle of nowhere, I don't have to buy the connecting territories. It will just make for a long commute, essentially. I can't imagine people would be particularly thrilled about that. Okay, as far as residential space. Ooh, that's hunting space that's not being used because there are no things to hunt out here. Oh wait, no there are. I forget that the painter thing for hunting does not show the available hunting in the area. We could possibly set up more residential housing because I imagine they're going to want spaces close to their work. But we'll see if they're happy with the distance to those houses or to these ones. And if they're not, then we'll consider making more residential space. But for now, I think we're okay. Right. So, as far as a new city market, what would that look like? Oh good. We already have some of this built so that we can add more things. Planks is one that we want, just excess hanging out. think we need space for more iron ore. Although iron ore miners aren't really working right now, I don't think it's worth adding on even extra storage. What non-food items will it be good to have extra just hanging out? Gold bars. I think we're okay. Well, I guess it can't hurt. Let's go ahead and throw a single thing of gold bars. And then maybe some common clothes. Oh good, they just finished the other one, so I've got space for 4 more things. So we'll get some more clothes, we'll get some more cloth because sometimes that's part of a deal, and then some more wool. So now if any of those particular types of things run out of work because they just have an excess of materials that aren't going anywhere, they'll be able to keep working and we'll be able to expand our excess. Okay. A couple more people. We're still just doing terribly as far as tools go. Is it because we only have the one blacksmith? I think it might be. I can't remember if I decided to make another one of these last times. There's so many things going on. Nope, I want houses. I want to find where I got a blacksmith. It was over in this area. This one. Okay. I think maybe I have a blacksmith on the other side of town too, now that I think about it. Because I have some iron stuff over here, but then I also have one out here. Yeah, okay. So they're making tools, they just can't keep up with the demand, I think just because of the lack of coal. So, unfortunately it's going to take a minute to build these because they require a couple tools, but as soon as they're done, I think they will definitely help increase the production of tools. Okay, still got a good amount of fish going. An okay amount of berries. No more room at the inn. We just keep getting more and more visitors. I think that's fine. I won't worry about expanding that at the moment. Ooh, we'll throw another taverner on to make more berry brew. And to provide it to visitors as well as my own people coming to the tavern. I guess berry brew doesn't get brought to visitors, it's specifically given to my citizens here. At least as far as I understand it, that's how it works. Oh, but it's the berry brewery that, this one, that makes them. This is the one that sells the berries. So, that's my issue. I probably want to expand this one to make more berry brew in this place. But it's not like we don't have an excess that's out in storage. I think it just takes too long to go get it. So, we'll expand this. Both by adding on some space for workers. Yeah, if we go with the thatch nook and we turn it around, or we put it here-ish. Sure, that's fine. It does share walls with the church, but you know what? I think that's fine. Right next to the church, they make berry brew. That's chill. And then on top of that, to make some things a little bit nicer and prettier for that labor splendor, let's add some ivy. Put some more back here. And here, why not? Okay. And then from there, let's also add on some of these new decorations that were part of an upgrade. Let's go with a polished planter, which adds an extra 2. And a plant arch. Ooh, that's tiny. Let's put it right here. Throw on an extra 16 labor splendor. Great. Okay. Doesn't look like I'm currently missing any new merchants or anything coming to town. And how are these going? Okay, we got all the materials. Now the builder's just finishing it. Bridge is still being worked on. Yeah, actually, let's prioritize these builds out of all the builds I'm doing, because that's the way I'm most quickly going to be able to assign out my unemployed workers, which will allow for more immigration, and also make it so my tool creation happens a lot quicker. Do I have any space set aside for coal storage? I don't know that I do. I imagine I'd have to, but I don't imagine that most of my things even are holding any, even if I have space assigned. Yeah, see, I've got 2 spots assigned there, and just very little coal in general, because it's constantly being used. So I don't think I'll expand coal storage anywhere until I start having an excess. Oh, and I've got plenty of space here to assign more. Well, where I don't have a lot of stuff just needing to be stored at the moment. Let's go ahead and assign 1 space for jewelry. Let's do another one for coal just because. And then I think let's do a set for tools once we get more tools on hand. That'll be nice to have. Let's do 2 of them. That should be good. Okay. Great. Done. 3 charcoal burners right now. We will assign wood cutting space right here. Perfect. Take this whole butte area. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and assign a forester. Build a forester camp to be able to be assigned. It's going to go right there. And once it's done, we can assign him to just continuously replant trees here. Running low on boars. Are hunters running into issues finding stuff to hunt? Well, I think I need to move this one. There's plenty of hunting space out here. So we're going to go ahead and move the entire building out in this direction. Yeah, we'll just put it right there. That does mean this butchery here can't do a quick, easy trade-off with that spot. So can we move this nearby? Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time in transit. Yeah, let's go with that. does leave a little bit of empty space here in the middle, which is interesting. I don't necessarily know what I'd put here. Got a market here. Which I could expand, but maybe I don't want to. Well, it would be nice if I could do something like that out here in order to make the city Belfry, which is part of the city market. I guess it doesn't have to be on a market hall. So if I make a city Belfry, what does it look like? Okay, so you'd still need to make... Oh, maybe it's just the tower. I think you could do all of the above, but this specifically requires one bell tower and one door. So we'll just do a tower. Both of them are equal as far as materials, it's just what looks nicer for me. Oh boy, that's tall. I guess that makes sense. That's what it claims to be, the pride of the town or whatever. So we got this one, which looks fun. We got this one which says gateway. Ooh, it's got a gateway underneath. I kind of like that. We could build it over a path even if we wanted. It's just a question of what path can I build it over that it's not going to break down a house. Can we scoot it a little bit? Turn it a little bit. Yeah, okay, that's fully covered. Will it then... Okay, no houses around it are turning red. So now they've got paths underneath it. And I just gotta put a door on it. A gate. That might be fun. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's go all out on this. And I think that's the side we're gonna want it on. Okay, it's got access, so let's go ahead and apply those changes and build that. Okay. Now, how are we doing up here? Good. Another one. Sign all three out. So we've got the people for it. Oh, and this one's already done. It beat this one that was prioritized. Interesting. I guess it didn't take all that many resources because it's a pretty basic building. And we're gonna say, let's reforest specifically this area. You know, I'll expand it out and say you can go further if you want, but I also don't know that you've got the ability to plant that many that fast. We'll have it match what currently exists for woodcutting. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, this is just waiting on tools, which are waiting on coal. Okay. So least happy down here. Why are you unhappy? You don't have refined food at all. Where do you live? Okay. Out here on this side of town. And this is our thing that does refined food. Oh, that's storage. Sells refined food. Doesn't have a lot of meat on hand. So, what if we switch that to... I guess you hold on to cheese. Let's go ahead and sell some cheese here as our refined food source out here. Because this is not only a place to sell, it also has a decent amount of storage, which cheese we have on hand, the other two refined foods we do not. Okay. A couple more immigrants. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. So just a lot of waiting on tools. So we'll speed this up a little bit. Look out for any incoming things that I'll need to click on. I think we just hang here while we wait for coal to be expanded a little bit so we can make more tools. Because that's the biggest hang up we've created by expanding all of the different things we can use coal for. Still confused as far as the builders out there for stained glass and for statues, but I wonder if I didn't actually check here. Okay, none of the materials for this are either of those things, so it must be something else. Is it like one of the decorations I can do or something? No, because I've unlocked all my decorations. I wonder if it has something to do with the castle or the monastery, which I'm not allowed to build in this particular scenario. I imagine stained glass is generally part of the monastery. And then maybe the castle does statues specifically. I don't know. Or maybe it's just something else that we haven't figured out yet. I could also start working on making barrels, which can be sold, but I think also made to use wine, or to store wine. But that's part of the monastery, which I can't do. So it would just be making barrels in order to sell them. That might be worth doing. But it does take tools in order to do that, so I will hold off until I can see kind of a general balance of our tool production. Okay, we're going to assign 3 charcoal burners here. Perfect. Okay, so we still have 2 people that are unemployed, that I don't have any workplace for them at the moment. I imagine the city Belfry's got to have some sort of employees. I just don't know who works there. If I don't know, we'll see, and how many that it will take. So it is interesting. Before we really get any amount of coal in these, it does seem like that coal disappears because, well, because they're not working yet. Some are, but I imagine once everybody's on a break, that charcoal or that coal immediately gets taken off to be worked on somewhere else, or used to make something else. I mean, it's a hot commodity. It's used in all sorts of things, so I guess I really got to expand out my fossil fuel industry. It's really great. We love it. Okay. We're doing pretty decent with bread. I think most of the beer that we're keeping up is really just due to those deals that happen. So if I can expand my beer production, that'll be good. Which I've got a brewery here, which this person does not have a house, or no, they have a house, they just haven't been to it until just now. Cool. Where is your house? Okay. So your house is here. Hold on, I got myself turned around as far as the map. Okay. And here is the brewery out here. So close enough. You're not upset about it and think it's fine. Now that said, you are happy with what you currently have here. So I think I'm going to take the jump, take the risk to promote you to be a citizen rather than a commoner. You still need to have 3 different sources of refined food, luxury items eventually, which we've got jewelry, and entertainment. So you need to go to a tavern and drink either beer, wine, or berry brew. Okay, and here we've got this market which sells all 3 types of refined food. We just don't have cheese on hand because we're still trying to make sure that we have enough of that. Man, okay. Going to this cheesemaker. You have some milk on hand. You have more milk on hand. If they stay with a decent amount of excess of milk and they're just not keeping up as far as producing cheese from it, then I think I will need to make more cheese makers. But if they're constantly getting through the source of milk, I need more dairy farms. So I've got 2 down here and 2 up here. And maybe another one somewhere? I don't think so. I think those were the only 4 I had. Oh, okay. More immigrants. Good. But with no buildings to assign you to. Well, what am I supposed to do about that? I think more wheat farms are always good, if only because it's used in both beer and in bread. So let's... Wheat. If I can keep it closer to windmills and bakeries, that would be nice. I just don't think I have the space for it, so we'll have to expand out here, and that's all right. Okay. We're going to go ahead and assign 3 of my unemployed people to be farmers, even though we can't yet paint the farm because the building's not built. But with them assigned to their work, that means that hopefully my immigration rate goes up from average to high. Oh, I hear horse hoofbeats. Somebody's got a message. A courier. Okay, where's the path blocked? Okay, it's not blocked though, because you can get up here. I will say some of these messages are a little bit frustrating, because while it would be nice to know if they can't make it to a place, I seem to often get that message when they can still get there anyway, so I don't know if that's supposed to be telling me something. Okay, polished stones. I do have a decent amount. This is for labor influence, which is good. I could sell 150 for beer. I could try to haggle, but I have a more likely chance to make the deal worse. So we're just going to go ahead and do that for 100 beer. And confirm it right off the bat. Done. Still just waiting on 6 more tools for this one. Okay, we got a good amount of coal currently. I guess now it's just a question of getting it transported. Now it does look like none of the 3 of these are holding on to a lot of it. I just don't know if it's transported particularly quickly from where it's at. Okay. Question is, are these 3 out here cutting faster than this small area of reforestation? I think that might be true. So let's go ahead and reforest here as well. I don't know if your workload allows you to do that much, but hopefully with a larger space, that means that these 3 won't have to wait for the young trees to grow. They'll just be able to kind of cycle through it as they grow in different areas. We'll find out. Okay. How's that Belfry looking? It's not. It needs too many tools. Oh, actually, it's got a decent amount of them. Still needs a lot more than what we got, but it's something. Stick with that. Okay. I want to see where all my hunters are at because we have a decent amount of meat, but we're not necessarily hunting as many boars as we need to maintain that amount. So, as far as boars go, we go to buildings. We're going to look at not butcheries, but hunters' huts. So we've got one here, which is hunting plenty in that space. So that's fine. What about the second one? Out here. I think this is one of the first ones that I built. No, I lied. This is the one that I had just barely moved. And they've got plenty to deal with there. At least did I assign? I don't know that I painted this as hunting space. Well, no wonder it's taken forever. My bad. Okay. And we'll expand it out just in case those boars tend to wander a little bit. Okay. See, this is why I need to do some regular upkeep as far as just seeing how resources are happening. Come on, mouse, you can do it. Okay, now back to this one, which was in this space. Not a ton of boars here, but some. And, you know, just in case they expand outward a little bit. Looks like they just killed one. That's not within my land out here, but this is still within the hunting space, so that should be good. I guess just in case it becomes an issue and we run out there, you're allowed to hunt up here. I also can't imagine we're going to go through all these trees all the time, so you're welcome to use that space as well if you need. Okay, and then the final hunter's hut, which was the first one I had. This one right here. And yeah, looks like they got plenty of boars there, so we might need to make another hunter's hut here soon. Okay, as far as buildings that I'm currently building, we got this bridge. Still waiting on tools. And here we've got still an okay amount of coal, not great. I think that coal's just being used a lot faster on everything, not just on tools, so we're still not getting the tool output that we want. So maybe we need to make more charcoal burners somewhere else. I think we could probably use this space that has one charcoal hut. We could probably double it with another one to get through that. I'm just making sure we don't have anybody gathering berries around here. Yeah, that's a builder's workshop. That's a market. Yeah, okay. So even if all these trees were to get cut down and the berries went away, we'd still be okay. I'm gonna make another charcoal hut. I wish this was one of those buildings like the woodcutters that you could expand rather than just have to keep making new ones, just for the sake of condensing the amount of space they take up. Okay, let's actually prioritize this one, because that will help with making more tools, rather than us waiting for the other two ones to get the huge amount of tools they need first. Now, how did this one? Good, okay. Get another brewer going to make more berry brew. And let's actually check based on your needs. Okay, you're still running into an issue of getting all 3 types of refined food. I think just because cheese is in short supply. You are a commoner. You've got all your needs met. I might run into an issue by promoting you because then we need to make sure that you have your 3 types of food, but I think for the sake of speed, we're going to go ahead and promote you. And what about last one? I think you're a serf. We'll at least get you to commoner. I think we'll hold off on citizen. Oh, and I bet that wheat farm is probably done. Kind of forgot that that was a thing. Nope, nowhere close. But it's getting its 2 tools of the 4 that it needs. So we'll prioritize that one as well. Between that and the charcoal hut, I think those should both come before the other 2 buildings since they take so few tools. We might as well get them done first. Speed that up a little bit and turn this way. Okay, actually I think... No, I do want to speed it up. I was going to consider making some of these labor buildings a little bit prettier, but I think they require tools for the most part, and right now that's not going to be the priority, because in order to get more tools we need more coal. I'll just hold off. Are we doing unhappiness? You can't find a house close to your workplace. Neither of you can. Who are you? Oh, great. So, turns out houses are way too far from where they are. I think... Well... Yeah, okay. That's fair, unfortunately. So... in order for you to have houses nearby, I either need to paint a space, which I can't over here really, because if nothing else, you're going to be unhappy about the quality because of undesirable neighborhood. And I want to keep this hopefully for cutting. The question then is, do I have houses down here? Do I... Will they be happier as soon as this bridge is built? I don't think so, because the houses are still that far away. I wonder how close houses would have to be to make them happy. Well, as long as I stay away from these areas, I should be fine. I think maybe we just expand residential to here-ish. I just don't want to step on the hunters. Where's the hunter's hut here? Is that this one? No, that's the butchery. Nope. Where are my hunters at? They're somewhere in the forest, I think. Right there. Okay. I can't imagine they're going to go all the way up here, so we are, in fact, going to cut down hunting a little bit so that we can do some residential just on the inside of it. And with 9 people working on these, we need to have at least 5 houses if they are low density. Or I'm going to have to then take a lot of time to make them medium density, which would require more workers. And I don't think that's something that we have the materials for right now. So we will just go with some plain old residential housing, and hopefully that's space for enough houses. And it doesn't look like they are really running into an issue with keeping up with trees right there, so I don't think that we have to worry about them expanding out into this space too far. And even if they did, houses don't need to have trees next to them. so how are we doing out here? Not done yet, but it's got its tools, and it's being built right now. No, never mind. I think the builder took a break. And then farm has all of its tools and everything, still just waiting for a builder to come finish it. So speed up a little bit, and we'll turn down our camera here so that we can click on anybody who comes into town. Man, this mouse is just getting worse and worse over time. Don't worry, I'm planning to get a replacement here soon. Just seems like between this and peak, it's been increasingly obvious over time that sometimes the clicks just don't click. Okay, good. Being built, almost done, and then I'll be able to assign out the farm space. Perfect. Paint the crop field. Wait, what is... Oh, this is hunting space, I think is what those colors are. Is that right? Yeah, it must be. Great. Well, in which case, take hunting, we'll unpaint that because we no longer have trees here. And then we will go back to painting the field. Yeah, you can see the red line there for crops. They were not going to plant them in between trees. This is adequately sized. This is too large. Okay. So for right now, though, that's going to be the spot for those 3 workers. Once I have a few more tools, I think I want to expand this to have more workers, and then we'll have a larger crop field expand out in this direction. I'm curious to know, as far as the brewery, we've got a good amount of wheat on hand, and a good amount of hops, considering they can only hold 20 in the first place. I think it does just really suck that we only have 1 person that can brew here, and they have to collect all of these materials separately, and then have to make the beer themselves. Okay, now how about this one? It is done. We'll assign our charcoal burners. They will go here to the pre-painted wood-cutting space. Can I expand this out at all, or did I already... Yeah, okay. I guess I generally do maximize it pretty well. Hold on here, just gotta look at something over here. Okay, great. Surplus of construction materials. We get another happiness bonus because we just have a ton of plain old wood and stone. Another immigrant, and then this. Inviting the Seneschal. Okay, great. So we finally hit whatever prerequisites were necessary to help me get some sort of tutorial for this. It's a mandate. Okay. Now that your city has everything it needs to stand on its own, the elders believe it is time to earn the approval of the realm's most esteemed legislator. They suggest inviting the Seneschal to stay for a few weeks and ensuring he feels welcome and comfortable in your city. So let's go ahead and add that as our goal here, which is just going to be a mandate that we can submit. Invite him to stay in the city. It just takes 2 turns and does not require any materials. So let's go for it. Because I guess the Belfry's done. Oh, hit the wrong keys here. Okay. We have the Belfry done. A splendid city belfry now graces the village horizon, its bells chiming proudly. The impressive structure embellishes the village's grandeur and marks a new chapter in its history. Okay, so turns out nobody works here. It's just a thing to have to give happiness bonus for people within the building coverage. And we can set the bells to ring at different frequencies. Sure, let's do weekly. And that's what it sounds like. Alright. Okay. So now I think the last structure that's not currently built is this. It's just waiting on tools, which we have enough on hand, as long as they're not being used to build new residential housing or something. Okay. There's space for 4 houses there. Do I need to expand that? I think there's enough for a 5th one. So, do we have people who are still unhappy without having houses? No, it looks like we do not have that issue here. Cool. Now, this forester is relatively new here, so he's not very happy. Can I... There we go. Okay. You don't have housing, food, or other food. Is it just because you have to walk a ways to go all the way down out here to then get to a marketplace? That could be. So I think once this bridge is done, that will help with that issue. Because there's a marketplace here, there's one here, and as always, there's still the one here in the center of town. Okay. Here he is! From his cluttered office, the Seneschal gladly receives news of your village, noting its growing influence across the realm. He accepts your invitation as a short but welcome break from other duties. It will be a good opportunity for him to study local legislation and meet your city's elders. I could say it will be a pleasure to have you, or I can say, we'll discuss it again soon. Yeah, we'll host him. He needs to be approving 95%. I imagine that might be tied to my overall village happiness, but I guess we'll find out. But the fact that a lot of people are upset about the lack of cheese may affect his overall happiness. We'll find out. Does he stay over here? Or does he separately stay, like, in the Belfry or something? I don't know. I also don't know that he's here yet. If he just accepted it, maybe he still needs to walk into town, because that's not an uncommon thing. Well, let's go ahead and have our bailiff... But you can't do any more prospecting. Oh yeah, you can. There's one right there. Go ahead and spend your time doing that to see what our final resource that we'll be able to find in this game is out at this spot. Where that one's just iron, I really don't need it. Oh wait, just stone. Yeah, definitely don't need it. And that one's iron. Again, the only reason that I might is for gems, but I think we're doing okay. Remember where I put my jewelry workshop. Got a blacksmith for tools and an iron smelter. There it is. The jeweler's workshop is right there. Yeah, takes 1 gem and 1 gold bar and makes it into a little ring. Which is only needed by people who have a luxury need, which are the citizens. Which currently I think I have less than 10 probably. Yeah, I've got 5. Cool. Okay. Now what's the hold up here? It needs 6 tools. I guess let's prioritize this one. And it needs 25 more polished stone and 110 more regular stone. We just need a builder to be assigned. Can't imagine they're working on that much other stuff. I don't know. While we're waiting on that, I wanted to check out here. Okay, those are all full. We could expand the residential space a little bit, I think. Probably another house can be built right here. I don't know that there's the immediate need to put one out here, but I think there's space for it now. And I think this particular lumber camp now needs a forester or two to keep them working within a specific area. If for nothing else, to make it so that their commute out to the tree line that they're cutting is a lot closer. Let's actually do 2 of them, because I think with the amount of woodcutters I have here, which is 9 of them, multiple people helping to restock is going to be even better. Because, man, they're really going out there to cut. And if I get any closer here, then I get rid of their berry access on both sides. And if I expand over here, then we start cutting into hunting territory. Okay, we'll assign a forester. I'm going to paint reforesting here. Basically, anywhere you can fit it, go for it. Speed that up a little bit. Perfect. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing with this. Oh, interesting. Okay, so actually, before I do that, we're going to go to you. We are going to cut this in half. Ish. And you are only going to be reforesting this half. Ish. Oh. Okay. And then you are going to paint the other half, because you cannot have overlap, I guess, between 2 foresters working. Or you can for, like, patrols and stuff. We don't want that here, so we're going to make sure it stays out of that area. But other than that, I think we're set. So as soon as the people I just assigned actually start working, hopefully that will help make that wood cut down a little bit faster, since they don't have to walk as far. Okay. Still waiting on a builder. Why? It's got priority. It's not done till the bridge is done, which we knew. It's the only requirement for a bridge is that it be, in fact, a bridge. Okay. So, let's see. How are we doing on coal? Okay, good. We've got a good amount of coal just hanging out. 210 of it. Which likely means that our iron smelting is going okay. Yeah. And our blacksmithing is going alright. I guess the reason why we had so much excess iron is because I didn't have any coal to turn it into tools and stuff. So. But that does mean that we've got a decent amount of tools that should easily be able to be built here. What's the holdup? Do I need another builder's workshop? You know what? I don't think it'll hurt. Let's go ahead with the builder's workshop over here. Let's actually put it here in this center space. Just like that. Done. We'll assign our builders. The good thing about these is they're just automatically built because at the beginning of the game you don't have any builders before you make that. So you don't need to wait on builders to make it. And hopefully that means with more builders close by that have nothing to do, they are able to just go ahead and start working on this some more. Unless the issue is some sort of supply chain issue. But I don't know. Either that or they can't build over here, they have to start building from this side, in which case maybe those builders aren't useful there. But I don't think it can hurt to just have people available just in case. Waiting for work on free time, heading to work. Okay, but explain to me what you're waiting for as far as work. Okay, we got 4 houses here. How are we doing on happiness? Uh-oh. The Seneschal needs 95% approval, but he's only at 93. Good thing he's here for a good long time. He could not fulfill one of his needs. It's not telling me which. I imagine it's probably cheese. Refined food, number 3. So how can I expand that? How are we doing here? You got a good amount of milk on hand. So do you. We need another cheesemaker, I think. Ugh, but it makes undesirable housing. Well, we already don't have an issue here, so let's go ahead and put it there. Is it 93 of 95%? That's so close. So I guess the question is, do we see where he's staying now? We got the tavern here. I don't think that's you. Oh, yeah, that is you. Okay. Oh, you don't have inn lodging. Except you do. You're at the inn lodge here, so it must just be that you need to go back and rest after a certain amount of time. And you need to visit the Great Hall. Is there a reason that you're not doing that? Because I guess you're good as far as both goods and refined food. Your issue is, okay, you've been to the inn. You need to go to the Great Hall. Great Hall's way over here. Is that too far for you? Or you just haven't done it yet? I'll let it go for a little bit longer before I try to solve that problem. Because it might just be, just hasn't had the time yet. Could not fulfill 2 needs? What do you mean? It's got everything except visiting the Great Hall. Does that count twice? Maybe I set my inn lodge too far from my Great Hall. Maybe I create another Great Hall out here, but I don't know that it'll be done in time. Okay. If I create a Great Hall out here, I think I don't want it to cover up my sheep farm if at all possible. Nope, it's called the Manor House. It's a sub-building. Come on, keys. My typing is just my own issue. I've got my microphone set up just perfectly so that I can't see where my keys are. So I always have to go find the little nubs on the F and J keys. Okay. Oh, I already have a Great Hall. I can't move it. Okay, that's fair. But does that mean I'm just stuck? Why? Where? Why? You're visiting the Great Hall right now. Okay, good. That's according to this right here. So, where are you? Oh, good. You're working your way over. Just because I'm curious, we're going to take a little look-see and see what happens, if anything. Interesting. I guess they all come in the back door because trees are in the way. Which is fine, we can still make it, but... Okay, now it says the Seneschal still could not fulfill one of his needs. Why? Gotta go back to you. Okay, you just went there, you visited, now you're fetching jewelry. Because you need luxury. How do you have 93% when all of these things are green? It says you're at 100 here. I don't know what your deal is, my guy. And now you're going to church. Cool. Well, I guess I won't worry about following you around too much because it seems like all your needs are being met. Just don't understand why it says they couldn't fulfill one. Because there's nothing on that page that showed there was anything he was missing. Okay, it's just waiting on cloth. Can't make more cloth when cloth storage is full. But you need cloth here, and you're just not getting it yet. It's right across the street. It's not hard. Okay. Now things are going well here. It does look like they're still able to keep up with the demands. The forester's able to keep up with the two huts cutting down trees. We've got a good amount of coal on hand, which means that we've still got a good amount of tools. But we're still waiting on a builder. Explain to me how that makes sense. I guess we probably need a builder within a certain amount of space. Let's actually see. Builders will transport the necessary resources from storage to construction sites. So what are we waiting on builders? Do I need to make another builder hut up here? Because that's kind of ridiculous. They'll need to find houses. They'll need to expand, I guess. But up here, these could be built just fine. So I don't think that that's the issue. Just don't know what we're waiting on builders for. Because we got enough polished stone and storage to grab the extra 25. We have enough stone and storage to get the extra 110. And we've got enough tools and storage to grab the extra 6. So I don't know what the delay there is. Okay, now it's telling me that the Seneschal has 100% approval. So as long as we can maintain that for the next 2-ish months, that will be done. And then we will just have to hit the goal of 500 labor estate. No, labor splendor. Which we're at 369. So, that said, maybe we just expand our city Belfry. with some more Splendor stuff. I could throw a clock on there. Where? Okay. On this side. I think we definitely got to do the higher one. That looks nice. For 4. Throw a little window on there. Another one here. Oh, but we could get a mounted and framed one. That's kind of neat too. Let's do one on the far side. Yeah, okay, let's make it a little asymmetrical. That's nice. That's going to add 17 more splendor to it. And let's throw on some banners, maybe. Maybe? Looks like the only place that it wanted to put it was on the very edges of things. I don't love that, so maybe instead of a large one, we do some small ones. But it is weird that you can't have them like even on both sides. This one goes on this side and this one flips to the other. So maybe we don't do that. Maybe we would go with a little elegant stone arch over this pathway. I don't love how that looks alone, but that's fine. Let's throw in a little polished basin. It's kind of fun. Yeah, okay. The elders plan to surprise the Seneschal by dedicating him a market hall. They trust that its lively stalls will proclaim your village's potential as a thriving independent city. I gotta reach 10 labor splendor with market hall. So I just basically have to make it prettier, which I'm already currently working on. But this is not a market hall. This is the city belfry. This is a subgroup of the city market. I could not surprise him. I could just spend 50 labor influence to do it, but I'm not going to because I don't have it. Or I could have my builder just go ahead and do it. 70% chance that he'll be happy with it, 30% chance he'll be unhappy with it. Either way, it changes my happiness by 10%. I think that's 20 days. It looks like it says I've already maybe done it. So we're just going to go ahead and say it's a deal. Going to slow things down. Okay, good. It did happen because I've already reached that particular sub thing. Okay. Yeah, let's put a fountain right there. Little marble basin. We could do a little small font. Either connect it to something or just have it out. We won't connect it here, but maybe we'll do that. And then mirror it with a large one on the lower side. Doesn't look great, but that's fine. All of this is going to give me another 37 labor splendor. Let's throw on a couple benches nearby to really celebrate. This is the center of all of our progress. An extra 47. And a sheep statue? Oh, it's big. I like that. 8 by itself. Let's have it here in the center, but kind of facing that way. And it's going to be an extra 55. So let's go ahead and apply that. And that will put me just at about 450. Ish. And then 500 is what we're going to need in order to complete this scenario. Now the question is, I don't know that we'll finish it today. Got another 30 to 45 minutes left on today's stream. So if we don't finish it today, we'll finish it next time, I think, guaranteed. Who knows if we'll ever finish this bridge? Kind of ridiculous. Okay. We're doing great on coal production. Cheese is still lacking, but I think I never assigned anybody to that cheese thing because it wasn't done. So we'll assign 5 new cheesemakers. They'll be the ones to get the milk and then turn it into cheese. Okay, but you can't tell me there's no builders available. I have multiple builders' huts, and not that many buildings being built. Let's go to the book. Let's look at buildings. I've got 9 builders' workshops that all are fully staffed. And they're working fine, supposedly. This person's waiting for work. This person's getting tools from the blacksmith. This person is transporting tools to the Belfry, even though this building is prioritized. I don't understand. Why are you as unhappy as you are as a paver? Ah, you have no food. Where's your house? You're near enough to... Oh, but we don't have meat or bread or cheese. What is going on? We've got meat. We've got bread. Cheese is a problem, but, like, we should have other things on hand. Too many midnight sandwiches. Yeah. No, that makes sense. 'Cause same kinda. It's just a good combo. Now, unfortunately, they don't have any sort of, like, oil or vinegar as far as we can tell, so they can't be great sandwiches, but they can at least be decent. Not Mike's way, unfortunately. I guess maybe they're not subs. They might just be regular bread. I wasn't thinking about that, and I don't know that it's as often to add those. Oh man, I also want Jersey Mike's. Yeah, I think it's EY. Anybody from New Jersey, I'm so sorry if we've offended you. But if you're from Old Jersey, you know what? I fully intend that insult to go towards you. To be honest, I don't even know where Old Jersey is. I imagine it's probably something like European, British. If only because most of the new places that we have, like New York, refer to like York in the UK. But yeah, I actually don't know that I've ever considered where Jersey is. Outside of New Jersey, because, of course, New Jersey being New Jersey. Oh, neat. Well, I guess full offense intended for nearby France. Okay, and now we've got a decent amount of boars just on hand. You can't make any more meat because we've got a good amount of meat. So let me go to this granary. There's space for more meat to come here. They just haven't brought it. With fish and cheese. Whoa, why the Seneschal just can't meet 4 needs all of a sudden? Luckily, still got 52 days to make it right, but I imagine it has to do with that food supply. So back here, what's your deal? Okay, lacking entertainment. You just haven't been to the tavern recently. You haven't gone to church recently. And you're missing 1 food. And you need another luxury? Well, we don't have 2 sources of luxury. You need to buy some? Hold on. What's considered luxury? We have gems, but they're generally turned into jewelry. I can't make honey or herbs because that's part of the church thing. So we gotta go part of the monastery. So we've got to go to the book. We've got to trade. Let's see. Can I buy? Not wax. Honey. Yes, I can buy honey. And can I buy herbs? I can. So before I do that, I need to set space for them in a storage facility, which needs to be a granary, which I have somewhere around here. Oh, see, they can't even make bread because we have nowhere to put it. So I need more granary, or to expand my granary storage. Let's swap that to bread. And swap this one to honey. Actually, instead of bread, we'll swap this one to herbs. And now because I have space for them, first of all, I am going to expand this really quick with some more depots. Because then I will be able to store more food items. But because I have space for those 2, now I can go into the royal book, wrong thing, the royal book, and say I want to buy honey. Let's buy until we have 50. And see how that affects our coffers. And then we'll do the same thing with the other thing, which was honey. Oh wait, that was honey. Herbs. For 50. And I think it was honey that costs 10. So to get up to 50, I'll need to spend 500. And I imagine herbs are probably somewhat similar as a luxury item. So to fully buy up until that point, I'm going to need 1,000, which I've got. Then, in order for him to get them, I need market available to provide that. So, good thing we're keeping the game speed slower so that I can go to the market. I can edit the building to add on another luxury stall. I'll have it on this side. Never mind. There we go. And then maybe we throw on a fun little blue tent. Why not? All the buildings are still accessible. I'm going to apply that change. Actually, we need to make another luxury stall. We'll put that one over here. And we'll throw on a red one for that. Okay. And once those 2 are done, we'll be able to assign those 2 new luxury items and 2 more market tenders. Any progress on the bridge? Absolutely not. Why though? It's weird that they could at least partially build it. In fact, mostly build it. I don't know. Is there some issue with it overlapping with the cheese maker? I don't think so. Because they were able to build up at least that far. Who can say? Okay, now the cheese maker out here is making cheese. Does not have a lot of milk on hand. Milk is one of these. Where's the milk at? There we go. Okay, we don't have a ton of milk on hand. So that's to be expected. Probably need to make another dairy farm in order to make that as efficient as it can be. But it's not urgent at the moment. Where this is definitely more urgent. Okay, great. So both of those are done. I'm gonna assign 2 more. One is going to sell herbs, the other is gonna sell honey. Seneschal can't do 4 needs? What do you mean? Go to the tavern, what are you talking about? We've got berry brew on hand for you to use. Yeah, I know about cheese. Oh, and he's extra unhappy because of a refined food shortage. Specifically just saying that at least one of my villagers has not yet, like, they're missing one of those for an extended period, so. Once that need is fulfilled, their mood will gradually improve. So he's at 87% happiness, needs to be at 95. I think luxury will help with that, but we do need to solve the cheese issue, so I think that is, in fact, an urgent need. I could fill the rest of this space with cattle farm, but I think, with a dairy farm, but I think that's not enough space to make that happen. Don't quite know what to do about it, because it's nice to have it near this, but I don't have space otherwise. Okay, good. Yeah, the reforesting here is working really well as far as cutting. But did I eliminate this as woodcutting space? I sure did. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, it's still there. But we're going to pull that up and get rid of this just for the sake of my own sanity. Just have them cut out in that direction. In fact, we're not even going to worry about that anymore. Okay, it looks like they're still cutting from there while these were growing in the first place. But it does look like my foresters were able to get out that far, so let's go ahead and expand even further for them. Okay. So, as far as that doesn't solve my issue of cow farming, let's find a dairy farm. First of all, what is this extra thing that's been here the whole time of a type of building I haven't looked at? I imagine it's probably decorations. Yeah, okay. Planters, arches, benches. Little balustrades. And all this. Different types of fountains. We got lots of them. Okay, great. Just had to get rid of the notification. Okay, you're out of milk. We need more dairy farms, which take a lot of space. And I think... Is this... Okay. I think then... As far as the space out here, let's go ahead and build a dairy farm. And I think the undesirable space can bleed onto that dairy farm. And then I will use a lot of this space out here to expand my dairy farm space. And hopefully that will help with cheese production. Because that's really what we're failing at the moment. Okay, something else. Gifting jewelry. They've decided a gift is in order. They intend to dazzle the Seneschal with opulent jewelry. But naturally, they expect you to supply the offering. I've got... Oh, I need to have 50 in storage. And then I would gift it away? That's crazy. Yeah, I'd have to spend 50 jewelry, which I don't have a lot on hand. And, well, I guess it's only my citizens who want it. I could try to have my tax collector give the gift instead, which has a very good chance of failing and giving us a happiness. Not a boost, but the opposite. We'd definitely lose that way. Or I could just call it out as bribery, and I have a 50% chance of it being good or bad. Okay, so specifically, this only affects the Seneschal's happiness. 10% bonus either way. Oh man. Undesirable Dairy Farm was my nickname in high school. Yes, absolutely. I think that's good. Do I take a 50-50 chance? Or do I try to make it happen, almost guaranteeing that I won't because of the amount that I have that needs to be in storage? I feel like 50-50 might be a better chance than that. Uh-oh. I'm gonna do it. Hey! Look at us. We done it. Yes, I took a chance. Chance, take a chance, take a chance, chance. Okay, we can give our surplus planks away for beer. We have enough, we can just straight up do it. I can try to negotiate better terms. I have a 90% chance that that one's gonna go, so we're gonna do it. They agree to send me more beer. Great. I do it immediately. And we're running low on planks. But that's probably fine because, again, I've got a good amount of wood just built up in storage. And it's not like I have any shortage of sawmills to make it happen. I think I've got two just here. One out by that one. Multiple in other places. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds like that would be a fun evening. Sounds enjoyable. You know, I've only seen Mamma Mia the one time, but I really enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. Okay. Okay. Are you serious? This is the first time I've ever seen this happen. Okay. So, regardless, 100 of the 150 beer that they sent me is spoiled. I have to spend it. I can either get 30 extra labor influence that way, or I can just take 400 coins to pay for the losses. I think I'm okay as far as money goes. I'm gonna go ahead and take the influence in order to spend it immediately on see, here's the thing. I could make a tavern meal, which improves happiness of people visiting the tavern. But that takes boars, entire boars, not just meat, but an entire boar and a cheese. And both of those are things that I don't have a ton of. We could do mining taxes. I've got quite a bit of mining going on, or smithing or drinking. I think we're going to go with mining taxes. And then I've still got 35. I could use it to unlock the tavern kitchen, or I can just hold off to use it on, to like leverage my influence to get better deals. And I think I'm going to do that. Crazy. I don't think I've ever seen beer spoil as far as being transported when I pay for it. So nice to know there's even more variation there that you have to deal with. It can sure be frustrating, but you know, I think that just goes hand in hand with running a little city. Okay, so with the granary that I started out here, let's see. Nope, granary. Yes, okay. We got stuff to be able to assign. We've bought some honey, which is great. We're going to assign space for more berries, more fish. More beer. More bread. More meat. Wheat, just in case there's an excess. What are we currently... What are places that cannot continue working because of materials? Weavers. Okay, that doesn't have to do with food. Iron mining, not food. Stonemason, not food. Iron mining, not food. Okay, I don't have any buildings. I guess I've got berries. I was going to say any food buildings that are holding on to excess resources. But my guess is that one is only because it's so far out in the middle of nowhere. So it's hard for people to justify the trip to take the berries out of storage. So maybe I need to build a granary out here too. Okay, well that said, what can we assign to here? So there's food. Maybe we just hold out hope and we add in space for extra cheese for maybe once it's been made. I think that'll be good, because having it nearby in order to be brought to the market that I have out here, I think will be good. Currently I'm not even selling cheese out here, but we'll get there eventually. Okay. I guess with my increase in population, my fishing is not nearly as ubiquitous as I want it to be. I don't have it just waiting in storage as much as I'd want. So let's make a couple more fisher huts. Yeah, okay. Turn it that way. So we got one there. Let's get another one right here. And another here. Great. And all of those just cost plain old wood. I still don't understand. That's fine. Okay, we'll speed things up. He's back up to 94%, which is great. We could sell iron ore, and I absolutely want to do that. I could spend 5 to get a better deal, and then immediately gain it back. I think I do want that. Currently, the deal is 375 for the 250 iron ore. 82% that it's going to get better. It failed. They're now offering a lesser deal. That's fine. So instead of, I don't remember how much it was, 350, it's only 300. That's okay. That's fine. I'll accept it and I will confirm. Can't hurt to have extra money on hand. Now, how are we doing as far as... We've bought herbs, we've bought honey. Let me go back and look at the Seneschal. It has received both luxury items, but is still missing out on a refined food. But is at 97% approval. I guess approval is different than happiness, but I imagine that they're tied together. So currently, unless it takes every so often that it updates. So maybe he is currently at the 91 that he needs to be at, but we'll see. Okay. Cheese is our big issue here. Just waiting on a builder for the dairy farm. Let's prioritize that one, please. Oh, but let's slow down a little bit for fish. I set 3 to be built there. I only assigned 1 fisherman just now. Oh, here's the other one. Okay. Both of these are under construction. Okay, speed it up now. Done. He's still with us for another month, so I think hopefully we'll be okay, barring any weird events. I'm knocking on wood right now because who knows? Maybe it'll go like the beer trade did. Wasn't the worst it could have been, but... Oh, wait. Oh, no, I see a person cutting down wood, but it's just one of these charcoal huts. I guess just for the sake of accessibility, don't reforest at that spot, since that looks like that is being used to build. I can't imagine that's the reason why nobody's building there, but just in case. If it starts being built right now, I'm going to be so absolutely disappointed / frustrated that that's all it took. Okay, great. We got dairy farm. And we're going to paint our pasture right now. Going to be all adjacent to that one. That is adequately sized for the amount of people. Now it's too big. Great. Did I ever expand this granary? I did just once. We can expand it out to another one, I think. Try another depot here. Yeah, we'll put it right there. I imagine people out here are probably going to be unhappy about housing not being anywhere nearby. I'll slow things down, and maybe we'll make a lesser intensive bridge. Let's just make a village stone bridge across the way here. And that connects both sides there, which should make housing a lot more accessible. Actually, what if instead we scoot it over to this side, because I think I got a lot more houses out here. Come on. Scoot it. Oh, I gotta start it over, I think. Okay. Can I... Hold on, let's start it again. Bridge. Start it here, and we'll move it just to the other side of the river. And that's relatively cheap. Should be a quick build, I think. Prioritize that one. Throw another fisherman here. Oh, we are out of people. Okay, one there. Okay. Seneschal currently has 100% approval. We've still got 24 days to deal with that. Curious to know. Where's your house? Oh. Whoa! You live way out here? That's intense. Oh, I guess I didn't consider maybe all of these houses are fully... No, there's space. And at least some of them that are much closer than this way out here. That's a crazy move from a workspace. From here way out there. Well, we got a builder already bringing stone, which is great. Perfect. And we just need the polished stone, planks, and tools. We're doing on overall happiness. Least happy is over here. You have no refined food. Sorry? There's a smelter over in this area. Okay. Why don't you have any refined food? That's crazy. This is a market that sells meat, bread, cheese. We at least have some of everything on hand, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get. And out here, we just sell meat and bread, and it looks like we don't have much of either. But we also sell cheese. We've got a little bit, so... whatever. As long as you're not complaining about it and you just need to go get it, that's fine. Okay, nothing to click on at the moment. I guess the other good thing about having this bridge is this cheesemaker down here can transport cheese out to this space if needed. Or people can take stuff from over here and go that way instead of trying to navigate through all of this here. Don't know how often that's going to be the way that things flow, but we'll see. Alright, Hrungnir. You're on your way? You building? Yeah, let's go. We got all our materials. Okay, now Juan is assigned because the other person finished their shift. 16 days. They're at 106% approval. Oh, someone else. Hosting festivities, the elders have one final trick up their sleeve. A grand celebration to bid the Seneschal farewell. They ask you to organize festivities with local drinks. Oh boy. And ensure the comfort of the many elders they plan to invite from neighboring villages. Yikes. Okay. That's doable. 50 berry brew, 50 beer, which I do both currently have enough. That'll give me 10% bonus to Seneschal happiness. And then a 30-day hosting, which requires the elders to have an 80% approval. If they have it, then the Seneschal gets an extra 10% bonus. If not, he takes a 10% cut. Or I could have my taverner do it. But my taverner has not leveled up because I think they are not at the level of proficiency that's like considered best for the job. So at level 1, 20% chance that things go well, 80% chance that they go bad. So we are going to do, oh boy, we could do a 50% chance. I think we can make it happen. We're going to do this, spend my hard-made alcohol for the success. Then I need to host the elders with 80% approval as soon as this festivity begins. Now, hopefully getting rid of so much alcohol up front does not immediately ruin my supply chain of people needing entertainment. Just in case, we're going to go to resources, and we are going to buy, I think, the excess beer that we don't currently have. I was trying to sell any excess that we had past 120, but I don't think we ever hit that point. So we are going to buy up to 120. And I think that should help maintain our entertainment needs. And we are running low on hops, which are used for brewing in the brewery. But between hops and wheat and water to make beer, I think we tend to get hops frequently enough that it's not an issue. We just are always running low on wheat. Since currently I've got 17 hops, I don't think that by the time these are ready for harvesting, it's going to be an issue. So we'll leave that alone. Get a new dude there. Yeah, okay, so this bridge is fully done. But this one still has not been touched in, I think, many in-game months. Which is frustrating. Still got space here. It can be built. I guess as a last-ditch effort, since I've still got people, we're going to go with a builder's hut, and we're going to put it nearby up here. It might be an issue as far as housing, but it'll be fine. We're going to assign 3 people to it. Now, unfortunately, they can't use the bridge until it's done to be able to go get more supplies, but theoretically, having builders here should give them no excuse as far as not working. We got one person there, just waiting for work. So what's the deal? What's the problem? All resources are available, it even says so. So the bridge itself recognizes that. Yeah, okay, we're running into a lack of entertainment. Oh boy. Oh no, that's the elders. Okay, that's different. I was about to say 85. No, he's got to be at 95. But he's got 100 of 95. Elders have 87 of 80, which lasts for another 23 days. Okay, so you need to visit the Great Hall. That's a you problem, not a me problem. Done. Okay. And you just need another refined food, which is my problem. But I think with you being pleased, we'll be okay, even if you don't get that third one. Which is always going to be cheese, because that's how it always goes. And now I've already forgotten what it is that I'm working on. Just going to look at happiness. As a farmer, you're upset because of food access. And your workplace is this wheat farm that I built semi-recently, I think. I actually can't even think about... No, that's one of the first wheat farms I made. Okay. I could not picture where it was once it had recentered me. Cool. Well... 0 days at hosting the Seneschal. It says 100% where he needs 95. It does say that he can't fulfill 2 needs, but I think that's still fine. So is that now hinging on this one? Or are those two separate things and he'll then leave? Nope, there it is. Perfect. He's done it. Had a wonderful time in the city. Impressed by my hospitality, he departs with a promise to ensure your city enjoys favorable legislative support. So we get quite a bit of labor influence and 500 coins. So nothing bad. Okay, with that done then, I think I'm just going to wrap up here in the next 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll call it there. So as far as happiness goes, for my people, you're stuck. Why are you stuck? Where are you? You're not stuck, though. What's your deal? Your home's out here, and you're right there in the field. So that should disappear shortly, if it hasn't already. Great. So, tavern, you're just upset because you can't find refined food. Okay. So again, just the issue with expansion, making it so getting the food resources to sell them to my people, just getting them to those points is my biggest hang up right now. Okay. You've got a good amount of milk. You've got a decent amount of milk. So do you. So just like wheat, it just kind of is the cycle of when they're ready to milk. Unfortunately, I feel like, based on my limited experience and knowledge, theoretically, the harvesting of milk should be a lot more frequent than the harvesting of wheat, but, you know, what do I know? Oh great, they're full of coal now. We have a lot of coal on hand, which is great. Still waiting on a builder, so it wasn't the fact that there wasn't a builder on that side. Create a warehouse or something up here with the correct materials. You know what? No, I'm not going to do it on that side because I don't have space for it. So instead, I'll put it here. And once that's done, I will have those 4 transporters with space to put 4 more materials. Put this on and say 8 more materials. Yeah, okay, that overlaps fine. And then who knows, maybe by the end of this we'll have that bridge actually completed. The elders need to have 80% approval for the next 7 days, and they're at 110. And our labor splendor is currently at 426, needs to be at 500 to finish the scenario. So I feel like we might end this right as we start next time. Expand the Belfry decorations. Let's do a little bit of that over into this space. We'll slow down the game speed. Let's throw on a fun little elegant fountain over here. And a grand fountain here. Doesn't technically need to be right next to the building. And a wall fountain. It says wall, but I don't know that I want to connect it to any of the walls. We'll just butt it up against this storage space. And that should give us an extra 24. Could do a twin lantern post. That's kind of fun. Let's go ahead and, like, put it here. Let's go with another twin lantern post over in this space. Now, why can I not afford that? Oh, it costs a lot of money to do those, I guess. It costs 1,100 to do this. So as soon as I have that excess money, which I should shortly, I'll be able to say that that's officially what I want to do with it. Oh, great. Okay, so here's where sculptures come into play. As I add on these pretty things, some of them cost sculpture, which is what that one builder hut does. Man, that's so infrequent that that happens. That guy's got the best job. Which is just like, I only build when people need this, which is once every couple years, maybe. Come on. I might now be running into an issue of money because I'm spending it on trades and stuff. I'll come back to that and apply the changes once I have 1,100. In the meantime, do I have any land that I bought that I am not doing anything with? I could buy that one, I don't want to. I have that one and I need it for the pathway. I don't think I've touched this one. We're gonna oh wait, no, that's because I don't own it. Okay. I am using that. Who knew that I would expand into every territory that I bought? It's almost like I needed to. Okay. I technically could abandon that for lesser upkeep cost, but I don't know if the pathway there is going to be affected because it's right on the border. And I am using that for hunting. I might be hunting in both of them, to be honest. I'm using that. Oh, but I've got the wall going around it. I'll just leave it. I think I might have enough right this second, maybe. Did I miss my shot? Need 1110. Yeah, I missed it just barely, but hopefully that means we'll have more soon. I hear a horse coming. Okay, great. We have a surplus of our advanced polished stones and planks, so we get a happiness bonus that way. Where's the horse at? Oh, out here. And I imagine that's going to be a trade, either for money or beer. I hope just for the sake of getting this done right now that it's money. I think generally they take it down here to the Great Hall, but often they'll just take it to the nearest manor house sub-building. So yeah, to the tavern. The elders want me to host a regional fair. Okay, that doesn't have to do with money, but that's fine. It just has to do with the happiness of my people here. That's fine. I'll accept it, but it's not necessarily what I need to worry about at the moment. But I hear... Oh wait, that's the same horseman riding away, I think. Can I get a little bit of money, please? Where's my income? I guess theoretically, I could levy a tax right now. But that is a one-time thing that I think lowers your happiness by 30% for the next little while. And I don't know that that would work out as far as the fair. So instead, I think I'm going to go to the book. I'm going to go to my taxation page. And I'm going to increase the unhappiness. Yeah, the lower happiness of commoners from 11 to 18% deduction to increase my income from them by 200 a month. Alright, the Seneschal is pleased by me hosting the thing of the elders. So now we got an... I guess it doesn't affect these, it just affects the Seneschal, but that's fine. So, I think I will call the stream here shortly as soon as I have the money, because we're so close. We're hovering around the 1100 that I need. 1110 is what I need. At that point, we'll call the stream, because that will be the completion of this at least, which will give me an extra 26 labor splendor, putting me at about 452. So next time all I'll need is about 48, and then we'll be done with this particular scenario. You know what? Just for fun, let's change the color of the roof on this thing. Yeah, I like that. Done. Apply all. Okay. So now I paid the upfront cost. Now they just need to... Oh, I guess it's done. Oh no. Okay. They're adding on the stone. They're adding on the statue, the sculpture. But I guess the builder who makes sculptures did not even start to do it until I had hit submit. And I think that means then that this guy is transporting the polished stone, and then he's going to take it there with the marble. And because it says one sculpture takes 10 polished stone, 15 marble. Once he brings both of those there, he'll be able to build this sculpture there. And that's how that process works. So now we have all the other materials there, and I think the building done, other than the sculpture. So let me go find where you are. Oh, you must be on a break, Mr. Master Builder. Okay, so he was assigned to the job, but then stopped his job working. 375. You know what? We are going to levy a better deal. So instead of 375, it's 750. We're going to take that. Absolutely. Now the problem is, unlike any other building project, this requires a master builder who makes sculptures. And I only have the one right now. So, even though he's assigned, he is currently... Okay, he's fetching marble. From where it's stored in a warehouse. Good thing is it's stored right next to it, which is great. Hopefully that's enough marble. I don't know if it is. Why are you walking all the way back with it? Oh, does he actually build the sculpture here at his workshop? That would make sense. And then he takes it all the way back to set it up once it's built. Either that or that he just doesn't have enough marble. So he's trying to complete his stack. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. I meant to go to him, locate him. Yeah, okay, he's currently building, I think. Oh, no, he's taking a break. This is his house. And now he's gonna go buy some food, I think, at the marketplace. Yep. Come on, come on. We're so close to finishing this sculpture. I think. Now he's building sculpture workshop. It says he is. Okay, he's in there. Perfect. Okay. So he just kind of of sits there and checks the angle of it. Chisel's it a little. Okay, now it's done, and he's taking it to the Grand Fountain. At which point, we'll have more labor splendor. Yep, okay. Done right there. Perfect. Yep, we're at 452. We have made it where we were going to make it today. So, there it is. We are done. Thank you all very much for watching. We're going to go ahead and call it here. I just have to manually make my transition for today by going to here. Alright, thanks very much. I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you later on this week. We'll see if maybe I just continue this one depending on how things go with Doxybot this week. If not, then I'll be on peak on Thursday. So, alright, here we go. Alright, have a good week. We'll talk to you soon.